going to be a good one.
Welcome back.
Hello, Prompton.
Hello, friends.
We've got the zero sugar, caffeine free Oklahoma root beer soda company.
Oklahoma.
Oh, yep. I've looked at these a million times. I've never realized it said that.
Yeah, it took me a few times to realize that as well.
Wow.
Yep.
Zero sugar root beer made in Oklahoma. It's quite delicious.
That is the same thing as people calling bear bells barbells.
Mm.
Is it technically Bear Bells?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you confirm that?
The box?
That's the way it's spelled. Yeah. It's B-A-R-E.
Bear Bells. Why is it called that?
I don't know.
Bear.
Made from bears.
Yeah.
Made from bare naked
bears. The bare naked bells.
Bare naked bells. Yep.
Anyway, welcome back. You probably noticed Preston.
Hello.
He's here. And we're back too. It's been a few weeks.
It has been. Somebody had to take some time off.
Yep.
Selfish.
Yeah.
It's not. What do you think? You had a baby?
Yeah. I'm speepy.
Yeah. Same.
Some would say wormed out.
Wormed out.
Yep.
No legs. Just wiggling. I'm wormed out. It's good though. Yeah.
Nice to take a little break, but from the podcast, but it's good to get back. It's good to be busy. I think we've all been really busy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Traveling a lot.
Yeah. Traveling a lot. You guys working a lot of hours in store, especially you, Preston.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you looking at? I finally almost got to Thomas's positive hours.
Yeah. Do you guys know where you're at on positive hours right now?
I went back down a little bit, but 2 weeks ago I was 107.
I should be, after last week, I think I'm like 154, 153.
I think, yeah, you guys are both over 100. For those that don't know, we run, so a lot of our managers are anybody that's on salary here. We keep track of like positive and negative hours. So anytime you work more than 40 hours, we log that. And then you kind of get to keep track of it. So if you go positive out like 20 hours and then you take half a week off for a vacation or whatever, you just use those positive hours for your time off. So it's a way to kind of keep track of like who's putting a little extra when we need extra, and who deserves a little bit more time off.
Does kind of create a cool system of like essentially unlimited PTO if you're willing to work the hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, where in the past we did more traditional PTO, but with retail, it was just tough because it was like, okay, like if someone takes, their allotted time off, like who is responsible for that? Well, okay, yeah, we'll have some hourly employees work those hours and obviously they get paid, their hourly rate. But what if, one salary employee is helping out a lot more than the next salary employee? Like how do we track that and make sure that that's, kept somewhat even? So, looking at the positive and negative hours, I guess I don't know what the managers are this year because you track that, but
they're right with us.
They really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty high up there.
I think only one manager. I think Ethan's the only one not over 100.
Slacking.
Yeah, what a bum.
He's only been manager for like 2 months. Yeah. But yeah, so Thomas and Preston are both over 100 positive hours. I need to start tracking mine just so I know.
Yeah. The thing that was funny, I was saying this to somebody the other day that like, I'm pretty sure when we all started having to work extra, I think I was at like -6 or something.
So just within the last 2 months.
Yeah. So all of mine have been in the last few months.
Yeah. You didn't start with 50.
No. No, I didn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You gotta take a big vacation?
Yeah, I'll see you next year.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, we're good for the year.
Yeah.
How was Preston? I know I've asked you a couple of times, but how was it being back in the store on a regular basis?
It was actually really nice. Like we've talked about it a little bit, and I think for those of who have been moved to the back end, most people can kind of agree that you don't necessarily miss it when you're doing it 50 hours a week consistently. Mm. Like it's not something you think about, but the more you spend away from it, the more you start to miss it. Especially like, not that I worked a lot in Norman, but seeing regulars and like still recognizing people when they come in is super cool.
That's one of my favorite parts is when you're working a random shift and it's like, you know, you're getting back in the groove of customer service. I think there's a lot of fun in that, but then you run into a regular and it's getting to catch up with them when you haven't seen them in a while. So,
right. Especially like I worked a fair bit in Yukon, and there are at least a couple people who were regulars in Norman, moved to Yukon a while ago, so I haven't seen him in like 2 or 3 years, but saw him whenever I was on shift in Yukon. I was like, that's super cool.
Yeah.
The fact that we both still like remember each other and can make a good long conversation out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotten plenty of the like, hey, where have you been?
I get a lot of like, where's Thomas?
Yeah.
I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
Where are you?
I'm everywhere, boss. Everywhere, nowhere.
Yeah. But yeah, we got a lot going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
What do we want to talk about?
These Oklahoma root beers are good.
Yep. We can talk about that. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Leah Byers for bringing these by.
For real. Here's a fun question.
Zero sugar too.
Yeah, no, right. Yep. We were talking about this at Quail today because Anthony made ratted himself out as if it was normal, and then we all roasted him. Joey, myself, and Addie roasted him because he, I forget what happened, but I think Joey was talking about Taco Bell having Baja Blast Zero. Yeah,
really?
Yeah. News to you guys.
Yeah.
But they
wait, no, actually I do know that. We've actually got some cans of it. Yeah.
But they have, you know, like Fountain Baja Blast Zero. Mm-hmm. And Anthony, this is why he's single. Anthony said, "Why are you getting zero?" And everybody's like, "Anthony, how often are you drinking soda heavies?" And he's like, "I don't know. I just don't like the taste of diet soda." And we all were like, Addie, Joey, and myself were all like, "Bro, what? I haven't had a full strength soda in like legitimately, like, I'm sure I've had it from like time to time, maybe like as a part of a cocktail made at a restaurant or something."
Sure.
But like sought out, got a can or a bottle or a fountain drink.
Independent,
a full strength soda heavy of any variety, it's maybe been 20 years.
Oh, wow.
I think it's been at least 10 for me.
Like it has been a long time. Like maybe every once in a while I'll grab like my most, like the closest thing I'll do is like maybe like a full strength Gatorade or Powerade, but after workout
on
like
purpose,
getting the carbs in.
Yeah.
Like I'm purposely trying to get simple carbs in at that point. But like, I don't remember the last time that, like, even if I was somewhere like someone's house and they were like, "Oh yeah, we've got sodas, water, like whatever you want," and then you like open the fridge and it's just like all soda heavies, I'm like, "Nah, I should water."
Yeah, same. We got our garage fridge that used to have a bunch of beer in it. It's now just diet soda now.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I just like the regular soda is just so sweet to me. I can't, like, I've just done sugar free for so long.
Anthony drinks energy drinks that are sugar free.
Yeah. I don't, yeah. You better be.
I do think energy drinks are different to a certain extent because the only comparisons I have are like Red Bull and Monster. Normal Red Bull, like full sugar, and normal Monster full sugar are awful.
Yeah.
The zero sugar comparisons though are like really good in my opinion. Like of course all the Monsters, but I'm a big sugar-free Red Bull guy. I will say the soda is something I've changed my opinion on more within like recent times because I'll still drink like a normal soda once or twice a month, and it's typically like with Mexican food. Whenever I eat out, I like Sprite with it, and normal Sprite I've just like, it's what I've grown up doing, so I just kind of stayed in the habit. But I did realize this the other day. Kayla and I went to go get Chick-fil-A. She got a Diet Coke. I got a normal Coke. And she'll always like make me try it to make sure that she's getting the diet one so that she doesn't have like a sugar high from it. And I've noticed this a couple times.
Gotta test Kaylin's food for her.
Yeah, seriously.
Like she's a diabetic.
5 years straight, no matter where we go, she makes me try it first. So, maybe it is in case it's poisoned or something. She's like, you know, just in case. But at Chick-fil-A, we had like normal Coke, Diet Coke, and they weren't marked at all. And I was trying both, and I'm like, they taste the exact same. And like, maybe they screwed up and maybe they were both normal or were both diet or whatever. But I was like, I truly cannot tell a difference. And it was at that where I'm like, okay, well, like there's no point in me getting a full sugar version anyway. Like if it doesn't taste any better.
Right. This happened to me like when I was like probably like 9 or 10, to be honest. So really it's probably been 25 years since I've done something like gone out for like a regular. We used to just like it as a kid, like we just drink like regular soda, right? Whatever. And then I think it was 9 or 10 or something. And I went out to California for the summer to stay with my grandparents. And out there, they buy diet soda, right? And so, and my grandpa's very like, if you want a soda, that's what we've got. You know, it wasn't like, I'm going to go get you a thing of regular. He's like, we've got soda, drink it if you want it. And so I spent a whole summer just drinking Diet Coke and I hated it at first. I was like, wow, this is gross, you know, like whatever. And then I like kept drinking it. And then it just kind of became whatever and normal. And then I came home and I had a regular Coke and I was like, oh yeah, like, what is this? Like it tasted like syrup to me. And so I just like, I don't know. I think it's literally been ever since then that I've just like, I don't know. I just don't drink. I would rather like Anthony's point he tried to make, which was foolish, was like Joey had a bag of gummy worms and he was like, you got gummy worms right there. And he's like, right, but I get to eat these. Like I get to enjoy this.
This is a treat.
I get to eat this. Why would I drink my like carbs?
Especially if you can acclimate to a diet soda really easily. I know for me, like I didn't, I just went without soda. I think it was probably more in college when I was like starting to diet more seriously. I just went without regular soda for a while. And it was like, I don't necessarily want diet soda. I'm just trying to stay away from like, you know, liquid sugar. And so I went long enough, like, I don't know, a couple of months or something. I'm like, man, soda sounds really good, but I'm trying to be strict. I don't want to, you know, I don't want the calories or I don't want the sugar. So I was like, you know what? I could just do a diet. Like I think that would like curb my sweet tooth, right? Had a diet soda, tasted great.
Right.
Just because I had gone so long without something that sweet. Yeah. My taste buds had adjusted.
Did I ever tell you guys my Coca-Cola for breakfast story from high school? So
sounds like Ian Rush.
Yeah.
The Diet Coke.
To give some context, I knew nothing about like nutrition, sugar, anything still like don't. That. Yeah, still don't. Up until like high school-ish, whenever I started getting more into like lifting weights and whatever. So growing up, my dad drank Coca-Cola like crazy. He still does, but he's cut back a little bit. In like crazy, I mean like a 6-pack a day type of thing. And we had it with like all of our dinners. It was the only thing that we had in the fridge was like normal sodas. I even remember like I'd be playing outside with my neighbors or whatever, and we'd come inside and we would like chug Sprite. Like that, it wasn't water, it wasn't Gatorade. Like that was just what we grew up with. So fast forward to high school, and I didn't eat breakfast consistently until I was probably like 19 or 20 years old. And throughout high school, what I would do is I would get 2 cans of Coca-Cola. I would pour them in like a little thermos and I would take it to high school, and that was my breakfast.
Calories, dude.
Yeah. I just wanted something to sip on until I got to lunch. And I didn't realize that wasn't normal, because that's what I had my entire life and like growing up around me and whatever. And I remember it was my first hour freshman year. It's probably within the first couple of weeks of school. And I had just started putting it in the thermos. Like I typically didn't do that. And I forgot about the like pressurization of it. So I'm in my first hour. We're in the basement. There's no windows. It's like everyone's still super sleepy. And it was a history class. And I remember sitting in the back of the class and just like opening it up like normal. And it sounded like a shotgun went off in the classroom. So everyone looks back at me and they're like, Preston, what the hell was that? I'm like, it's my breakfast. And they're like, what the hell is your breakfast? I'm like, it's 2 cans of Coke. And everyone was like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, is this not a normal thing to do? So
the fact that you called it breakfast too.
Yeah. Like it was just
breakfast.
It was my normal breakfast. So anyway, that was whenever I started to figure out like, you know, pros and cons of sugar and like liquid calories insulin. And whatever. Yeah. Insulin.
Your dad would ingest 234 grams of sugar.
You just look it up.
And Coca-Cola a day.
Yeah. 16-ounce cans?
No.
Or not the 12-ounce cans?
12-ounce
like the
cans.
standard tall ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
6 of those is 234 grams of sugar.
That's crazy.
It does so much.
It does remind me of Vincent's breakfast rice.
Yeah.
It's white rice, butter, and sugar.
Yeah.
for breakfast.
I mean, he and I probably share more similarities with our eating than differences. I'll always remember my dinner or whatever it was whenever I was training, my milk and tortillas. And then just because it's fresh in my brain, because I've been telling a lot of trainees it, because I tell it along the story or the teaching of like GDAs, is one of my meals used to be a bowl of white rice. Like that was it. It was whenever I was working in Norman. The context I tell trainees with it in is like I had taken a big dose of a GDA beforehand, warmed up my rice, and then got slammed with customers in the store. And like 25, 30 minutes later, I'm like dizzy, not about to pass out with customers. Like going to grab a protein bar to eat something while I'm talking to someone just so I don't pass out. I used to, it was like, I can't remember the amount of rice, but it was like 120 grams worth of carbs. And I was like, I can't fit this in any other time. So one of my meals just became a bowl of white rice.
That's funny.
I love that.
I do like some white rice, but just eating it alone sounds funny.
Yeah. Add a little bit of oil
butter and
on
sugar on it.
Yeah. Add a little flavor.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just so funny. Like how I don't know. We were all very much judging Anthony though. Apparently Anthony's just slamming sodies left and right, full strength.
Does he drink them regularly?
I don't know. I don't think he was willing to admit anything past what he had already.
He does eat sour strips for breakfast on a somewhat regular basis.
That was in manager meeting when it was the three of us and him, just showing up, and it would be like, "You got your breakfast, Anthony?" And he'd like hold up like a cherry slush Alani Nu and a bag of sour strips. Yep. It's like
classic,
dude.
Literally.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I've eaten eggs for breakfast for like, honestly, probably at least the last 10 years, maybe like 11 or 12 years. And it's like a big thing came from like Peyton Johnson, him being really big on or being a big advocate for doing more protein and fats first meal of the day, and waiting to take carbs in later in the day. So I'm like at manager meeting, like eating eggs, like with you guys, and just watching him eat like a bag of candy. It was just like mind blowing to me.
The thing that bothers me the most about that is my teeth.
Yeah.
Like after energy drink, my teeth still feel like a little coated, but it's not bad. The once in a blue moon that I'll like go to the movie theater and like want to get candy to like have the experience, it's always miserable after, because I'm like, my teeth will hurt and then they have that coating on them. So I go home and brush my teeth for like 15 minutes to try to get them off.
Yeah. Dude, I like sour candy. I loved sour candy as a kid, but like I kind of avoid it now because of the same exact reason. Like my teeth just feel just gross afterwards.
Yeah.
Have you guys had I think this is what it's called. No.
Gummy worm eggs?
No.
Gummy worm eggs?
Yeah, you ever had those?
No.
They're delicious.
Really?
Yeah, they're like real short, and then they've got like a little coating to
Whatever
them.
you're talking about, I figured out what I was looking.
You can only find them some places, but they're really good.
Huh.
Have you guys had a Fruit Riot yet? Show you a picture.
I think
These things?
Josie. I think Josie posted about them. Yeah, I've seen her post about them. I haven't seen.
Bro, they're so good.
What are they?
So it is frozen grapes, and then they like dip them or soak them in lemon juice, and then they coat them in like a little bit of sugar and citric acid. So they're frozen grapes. So it's like I think like 6 of them is like 45 calories. But it's just like frozen candy, and I'm talking or like sour candy, and I'm talking like sour candy. Like I ate, I don't know, probably like 10 of them the other day, and I was just like kind of shucking on them kind of thing, and it like burned a hole in my tongue kind of thing, like a warhead will like mess your tongue up. Dude, my tongue hurt for like 2 days sucking on them little grapes.
Well, lemon juice and citric acid.
Yeah,
Dude, that's a bold combo.
They are so good. They're and they have a bunch of different ones. They've got the grape ones. They've got ones that are frozen pineapple. Laurel got one that is like frozen mango, and then it has like tahini and like chamoy kind of thing on it. So you get like the little like spicy, salty. Dude, they make a bunch though. Honestly, it's like they're really good. And
That's a really good idea.
yeah, and it's something that like I don't ever eat sour candy. I just eat those.
Yeah.
So,
dude, that's what, especially when your taste buds like do adjust. Like if you are generally eating cleaner, it's like we're talking about like a regular soda or like sour candy. It's just like it messes with you. It's almost like too sweet that like fruit starts to taste like legitimately so good.
well, and the thing is it's like sour candy's not sweet. Like sour candy doesn't like have like a ton of like sweet sugar taste depending upon what kind of sour candy it is. You know what I mean? Like a really sour candy is not like a abundantly sweet kind of thing. And so this like really leans into just like the fruit sweetness, a little bit of sugar, but it's mostly just like sour. Like Laurel eats, we're like, and I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I like these. They're really good. You should try them.
I will say a more bold food choice that I make or don't make is I'm not really a sweets guy.
Yeah.
And it will drive people crazy because like between like if you were to offer me like a bowl of ice cream or like a Cane's box combo, it's a Cane's box combo every single time.
That does sound good.
I've learned more about it myself recently, being that I have like a salt craving. I don't have like a sugar craving necessarily.
I feel like people usually lean one way or the other. Like at least generally what they would prefer. Maybe not like so much like polarized of like, I want this, but I don't want that.
The problem is I would eat the Cane's combo and then be like, where that ice cream?
Yeah. And you want something sweet?
And then I'm like, yep. Although that combination, like that between those two things, I'm taking Cane's all day.
I think, if
it depends on the dessert.
If it's I get one or the other, I'm usually salty, but I think
the question is, are you hungry?
No, like, so I have salty cravings even when I'm not hungry.
Yeah. My point being, if I had just eaten, I'd maybe still be into the Cane's, but if I just eaten, then I'm more like, I'm getting something sweet.
Yeah.
So for me, it's weird because like for probably a year or so, my craving, like hardcore craving, was popcorners, the like popcorn chips.
Those are good.
Like a white cheddar one. It's got a little bit of cheese and then a lot of salt. That is like what I would crave after I would eat. So it was like I'd be full and like still have that salt craving to the point where like I could eat an entire bag of them, like one of, not the like family size bags, but like the big blue bags, like in one sitting after I had just eaten a meal.
See, I don't think once I'm full, I don't crave something salty after that. Like if I've had something savory, like if I'm like full, I can still eat something sweet.
Yeah.
I think it just kind of depends. Like if I just ate something that was like if I just ate pizza, then I'm like, no, I don't care. But if I'm like, I just ate my like chicken and rice and lettuce leaves, and somebody was like, you want this cheeseburger? I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll eat that cheeseburger.
I think that is a big difference between being hungry and just craving something too.
For sure.
That like, would you, I definitely like use that quite a bit. Like if I like, as my diet kind of ebbs and flows, is like trying to figure out the difference of like, if I'm actually hungry, if I like would be like, yes, I would love some more chicken and rice. I'm like, okay, I'm legitimately hungry. But if it's like, okay, you put a bowl of chicken and rice in front of me and I could be like, meh, I'd just rather not eat that. Okay. Like, but I am craving like a cheeseburger or pizza or whatever. And okay, then I'm just craving something. I'm not actually hungry. So.
Right. Something I've learned a lot in the last couple of years, kind of pertaining to that, is like hunger cues. Because how I'm tying it together, because I remember talking about it recently, is like if you can get your diet or like your meal structure to be something you legitimately enjoy eating, it's a lot easier to follow it, and you'll actually get like hungrier for it, and you'll like look forward to those times versus like whenever I first started trying to bulk, like about the time that I started working here, I had just thought like, okay, chicken and rice. Like, everyone eats chicken and rice. And I could not get myself to sit down and eat that. I was just like, I'm not hungry. But then I wouldn't like eat anything else. So I went back and forth between periods of time of just like trying to get enough calories and eat like whatever sounded good versus like trying to eat better. And it was a nutrition coach that I worked with last year who was like, his whole idea for my diet structure was like, let's just find things that you enjoy and then like we'll build off of that. So I was like,
That's
I
cool.
like spicy stuff. And he was like, okay, well, we'll throw kimchi in because it's like that has health benefits, but it's also something that you can look forward to eating. I made this like egg pizza at some point, but it's all just interesting because it's like, to the point we were saying earlier, I would sit down and like have my prepped food and be like, I'm not hungry for that. Like I could go eat something else that like sounded more enjoyable, like a cheeseburger or something. But it was like, I would start eating that like prepped meal and I would get halfway through and I'm like, I don't know if I'm full or if I'm just not enjoying it so much to where I don't want to eat the rest of it.
That's super important, especially if you are in a, like trying to be in a calorie surplus too, because like you are going to have a lot of times where you don't feel that hungry, but it's like, if I'm trying to follow the plan that I'm following, then I need to enjoy it a little bit more. So
yeah, and I think the coolest part with all of it was like the hunger cues that I developed from it, because I did get to the point where I was like, I would go home after work in the evenings and I would crave like beef and potatoes or whatever it was, or like I did eggs and sourdough a lot. Like that would be the thing at the top of my head. I'm like, okay, like I've done something right hormonally or like mentally to where like, this is how my brain works now.
Go ahead.
I think it's also like one of those things that's just tough in general. Like if you go from like hyper like palatable foods.
Hyper
palatable foods to like not.
Yeah.
Like that is such a steep drop off from like a brain chemistry standpoint too, where it's like, of course you're going to crave. Like, you know what I mean? And so it's why like one of my biggest things of just like giving people help, especially when they come into the store, they're trying to eat better, they're trying to do this. It's like, I appreciate the gung-ho-ness of like trying to go from like hyper palatable to chicken and rice, right?
Yeah.
Which you can make taste good, but there is like an adjustment period that I feel like you do have to go through. And that's where like one of my biggest things that I tell people, especially if they're like relatively new into it, but they're like trying to do better is like, if you are really craving something, like make it at home versus going and getting it, where it's like, and the example I always use is like a McDouble, right? Is like 480 calories. I don't know about y'all, but I don't eat one McDouble. I could eat like 7 of them homes, right? So the thing is it's like no doubt in my mind, could I clear, I know because I've done it, is like I can clear 3,000 calories of like fast food burgers, like no problem. I'd be hungry in 2 hours. You know what I mean? But the thing is like, I was using this example, especially if I'm talking to a guy, because it's like, I think it's a little bit of a better analogy specifically for males is like, you know, when you guys go to a fast food place, are you getting one burger? Like not traditionally, right? I'm a dollar menu gremlin for sure. So it's like, I'm trying to find a deal and get as much volume usually as possible. And so, in that situation, I'm like, okay, so, you know, I could easily, if it's like a McDonald's or something like that, and I'm getting like the smaller, you know, like a double cheeseburger or whatever, it's like, I can eat 4 of those, like all day, every day, no problem. But it's like, when you make a burger at home, how many do you eat? Like one maybe two.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is like, I don't care what you put on that burger. You're probably like, ballpark same, maybe a little bit higher calorically than what you get out of a tiny little, I can eat 4 of these. So it's like, you can dress that burger up however you want. You're still probably pushing like 700 calories on that burger. And it's like, and you'll probably eat 1, 2 maybe. And it's like, okay, cool. Like this 1,400 calories worth of burgers at home, like, you know, even 2,000 calories of burgers at home, it's still 1,000 less calories than having, you know, like what you would have gotten from like a fast food restaurant. And so it's like, or a quesadilla from Taco Bell, which is like, you know, paper thin, is again, it's like 520 calories. I can eat 30 of those things.
How does he fit that many calories into that flat of a food item?
It's incredible that they can fit that many calories into that small of food items. Like, it is genuinely impressive. And so it's like, it's hypercaloric as well as being like hyper palatable. And so it's like, if you were to literally just go home and make a quesadilla, like, cool. You just save so much calories. Like you're making steps in the right direction. So it's kind of like one of those like red, yellow, green, like stoplight systems. Like, yeah, sure. It's just like, is it best to eat, you know, like the cliche, like chicken and rice? Yeah, for sure. But if it's like, if you're going to fall off by continuing to do that, when you have a craving, like sometimes you have to satiate that and like, just do it at home. Like just make it at home. You could put whatever you wanted on this. And like, I don't think you're going to be able to match what you would have done on like a red day, like going and getting something.
I think that a lot of people know that I even kind of get made fun of for just eating the exact same thing every single day. I switch up my protein sources.
None of us have ever made fun of you for that.
It's just easier. Like once, like now that I'm like used to it, like it's just been easier. Just like I prep my food on the weekends and then I'm good for the week. I don't have to think about it. Right. So, and I can just eat and not stop working ever. But
the dream life.
Yeah, we all strive for.
Yeah.
Are you guys being serious? Right? I'm pretty happy about it.
If I eat this every time, I don't have to waste any time enjoying it.
Exactly.
Yeah. That enjoyment is precious seconds, boys.
Who's got time for enjoyment?
Yeah, that's right.
I got 2 kids now. But one, I think it comes down to like prepping the food the way that I do. Is like I found a way that it works well for me. Is like I do really well if like everything's just mixed together. Like I legitimately enjoy it a lot better. Like rice and whatever protein source it is, and then like some kind of flavoring. Always my signature bell peppers, and
except the rotten ones. You got to pick those out.
Got to pick those out. So make sure you do that before you mix it up, because then it becomes really difficult. Now you're just wasting time.
Yeah,
so,
right. Precious seconds here.
Yes. So like I found like I enjoy that more than like eating like, okay, here's my chicken, here's my rice, here's my veggies. Like I enjoy just mix it all up. I can eat it. But I also like, I didn't just jump straight to that when I would say started to took a big step in the direction of getting more structured about my dieting, where like I spent a lot of time like making sure I was getting enough protein and like eating like generally kind of the right kind of carbs, but I was like very just like flexible, like eating on the go for a while. But then I started working with Peyton Johnson. He kind of like helped me put together a meal structure for me and helped me kind of make manipulations and changes to it. He had a meal on there that was I think it was like 8 ounces of beef and a complex carb source, and he gave me kind of a few options, and or he gave me, I think he gave me brown rice, but then he gave me a couple of alternatives, and one of them was Ezekiel bread. So I was doing, I would make the beef into patties, put it on the Ezekiel bread, and did, I think I was allowed like a small amount of like sauces, because I was actually trying to gain weight at that time as well. So I would do a little bit of Thousand Island dressing, and it was like I had a little Frisco melt. Yeah. So they got steak and shakes are like decently big here in Oklahoma, right? No?
There's one in Midwest City.
What? It's Freddy's is probably the bigger chain here.
Very similar though.
What do they call the Frisco melt at Freddy's?
I don't know. Freddy's melt. A Fresco melt.
Yeah, it's whatever. I'm sure they have the exact same thing at Freddy's. I'm pretty sure they do.
Patty melt with Thousand Island.
Patty melt with that Thousand Island. Yeah. So it's called the Frisco melt in Missouri.
Yeah. Get it right. Yeah.
I'm not saying they're wrong.
No, this is why, but again, going back to this is why whenever it comes to like how certain things taste, whether it's like a new protein shake flavor or something like that, we always like, ask Kevin, but like we hang it on the fridge kind of thing, because he'll be like, I don't know, I thought it was pretty good. And it's like the worst thing we've ever had. And then he's like, dude, I was eating a grapefruit last night and I almost busted. And I'm like, yeah, you're not allowed to judge what the common folk will think of flavors.
Yeah.
Hey, I enjoy food.
I got erotic with this tangerine last night.
Dude, I mean, there's something to be said, I think, for enjoying just normal food like way more than the average person, I think.
Sure. But what the point is like anything you'll be like, oh man, I thought it was very good.
It is something that I feel like has become more and more important for us, is like making sure it tastes good, especially with products that traditionally do not taste the greatest, like Pico 2 and pre-workouts. But yeah, especially whenever we get stuff new in the store, like I think the classic story is Core Fury X, whereas like super cool formula didn't taste good enough to keep it in like the product lineup though.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't taste good, people won't use it.
Yeah. Dude, potentially my favorite formula out there. And it had Pico 2 in it, which was what made me really nervous when we did Pre Plus, is I thought Pre Plus was going to taste like garbage, and we were going to have to reformulate to be able to just simply be able to make it taste good. Pre-Plus is damn good for having Pico 2 and 10 grams of citrulline and everything else that's in there. It's
glycerol.
crazy. Yeah, glycerol in there. But yeah, Fury X, potentially my favorite formula of a pre-workout, maybe second behind Pre-Plus. But
it was really good.
It was a very good formula. But yeah, and I recommended the crap out of it because it was so good. And I would even warn people like, hey, like if you're wanting like the best formula we have for like what you're looking for, this would be the one, but it's not going to taste as good as this one or this one. So, and it struggled.
Yeah. Before its time, I wonder if it was made now, new flavor systems and stuff.
If they could have made it taste a little better.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think that on top of like, at least from my experience in the store, there is a little bit more of a push for people who will put like performance over flavor, not to the extent where they're like willing to take something that tastes bad. But I have met a lot of people who are like, oh, I feel like it doesn't taste as good as the rest of them, but it makes me feel better. Like, okay, well, the trade-off is worth it.
Yeah.
And the opposite side of the spectrum is kind of funny and crazy. Not that it's that common, but like there was at least once or twice working in Norman where I'd have people who come in and they're like, I just want the best tasting pre-workout. I'm like, cool. Like, caffeine range, yada yada, like take them through, and they're like, I don't care. I just want something that tastes good. And I'm like,
you should get a Mio.
That's always what I said. I'm like, they make water flavoring. Like if you don't want anything, like
I remember there was one time I was explaining, I think it was someone was getting a protein that was like ion exchanged. And I was like, hey, just a heads up, like we're not sure if this protein like works at all. And he was like, I don't care. And I'm like, why are you buying it? Like just buy nothing.
Just flavor.
You don't have to buy something.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
It is funny because, being an old guy like myself, now that I'm old, we're old now.
Dude, I had somebody else in the industry say like, oh man, I hope I, have learned as much as you by the time I'm your age. I'm like, fuck.
I saw a meme yesterday where it was like a college student emailed their professor and was like, am I okay to use this article as a source? It's from the late 1900s. And it was from 1994. I think the professors like posted it was like, I'll never recover from this email. Because dude, when I first started taking supplements circa 06, bro, everything tasted like crushed Tylenol and old newspapers. It was all so bad.
Yeah. You guys were born in the 1900s. That's crazy.
I remember the 1900s.
I don't like that.
Yeah, were you born in the 2000s?
Yeah, 2000.
Dude, 2000. That's crazy,
bro. We have had people that were born in how old are you?
24.
24. I think our youngest one we've had was born in would have been 07. 07.
What was I doing in 07?
I was at my brother-in-law's bachelor party, and we were chilling.
In 07?
No.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying.
No. But hear me out, okay? You won't appreciate this. You will, though. We're all like sitting there talking and whatever, and they were. I don't know how to take this, in retrospect, but they were talking about something like when they graduated high school, and they were like, yeah, we graduated in 19, and he was like, oh, graduated in 19. He's like, I graduated in 17, and it was like, oh, they were like, man, I'm like, yeah, same guys. And they were like, when did you graduate high school? And I'm like, 09. And they're like, never mind. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, one of them was like, how old are you? 34? And I'm like, yeah, I'm 34. And they're like, you look great for 34. And I'm like,
dude, don't say that.
I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this. I will say mid 30s is one of my favorite times of my life because I have friends who look 34. I have friends who look like they're in their 20s. And I have friends who look like they're 67 that were all the same age. Mm-hmm. And it's so amazing to me. It's really my favorite thing of you guys look bad. Dude, there's some people I went to high school with that look bad.
Yeah, I think there's a couple that come across my Facebook feed that are.
Dude, it's awesome though. It's one of my favorite things.
I feel like I was born during a good time. Like I like having been born in 2000 because I grew up with technology, but not with like the technology that kids have nowadays.
Yeah.
So I was able to see that like that growth and still like I grew up playing outside with my neighbors. Like we spent all summer outdoors all day, every day, or like playing video games with each other sometimes. But I can't imagine like kids that are being born now where it's like you're growing up with like virtual reality.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't a concept whenever I was growing up.
Dude, that's such like a balance. You want to share something?
I really do. Yeah.
Okay.
Squeeze in, move your mics in a little bit. I think you've seen this, Kevin, but it's too good not to share.
Oh, you may have shown me this.
It's so, but you know, it never doesn't get you. So this is me on the left. This is Ben, and this is Justin. If they're listening, they'll know I'm talking about them. And we're still friends. Fuck them. I don't care. Right?
Maybe not after this.
So, nah, they know. So Ben and Justin and me. This is me then. This is me now.
Yeah. You look good for your age.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. This is Justin. Folks,
Go back. The one in the middle?
No, the one on the right.
I can't even tell.
He does kind of look like Walter White.
It doesn't look like the same person.
Yeah. Ben in the middle here, right? Ben.
Dude, gosh. And also doesn't look like the same person though.
It's so bad.
Ben and Justin, favorite. I don't know you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh.
Nah, they laugh at themselves about it.
That's good.
What else are they going to do?
The whole technology thing though is like, I feel like this is something, I guess I don't know if like my parents really had to mess with this, but like I was just talking about this last night with Alyssa that like, I remember being a kid and like I feel like the TV could be put on for however long. Like it wasn't like necessarily like limited, like we could watch movies but also like you, I still spent most of my time outside, like every single weekend as a kid. Like once I got like old enough, it was me and friends and we would go play in the woods literally from the time I got up to the time I went to bed. Right. Yep. Like I didn't want to like,
no cell phones. It was just be home before dark.
Right. Exactly. But now with, especially Riley now, it's like Alyssa and I are like ultra conscious of like how much screen time she gets, like even just like on a phone or TV, especially with like YouTube and like videos being like so attention grabbing, like, and there's definitely a big difference. Like if the TV is on, like she's definitely like interested in it. But if it's like sports are on or, I don't know, like just like more of an adult show, like she'll like kind of be interested in it, but then she'll do her own thing. But if it's like, you can turn on some stuff, like some like kid shows that are just like super attention grabbing and it's crazy. Yeah. So like, again, maybe my parents and like that generation was more conscious than I thought, but I feel like we have to like constantly like find that balance of like, we don't want to like just totally get rid of that, because if like we do like absolutely no screen time at all, and then she goes over to a friend's house for the first time, or like
she's going to be in a coma.
Right, exactly. But at the same time, we're trying to limit it, so it's like you don't look for that as enjoyment. We have to be like super conscious of it moving forward. So
you know what's weird, and part of it probably too was like when we were kids, there wasn't as much like there wasn't so much instant access to it. Like there was like. Yeah, there was like Nickelodeon or whatever, but it was like when we were little, it was like Nick Jr. was only on from this time to this time. There wasn't like a Nick Jr. channel. It was just Nickelodeon. And then it was Disney Channel, and it was like the little kid stuff sometimes, and then it was like kind of the rest.
And the shows you like are only on for when they're on.
Yeah, they're only on when they're on. You don't get to you can't just like play and then just like zone out for days.
I also think like for most people, probably whenever you had a TV in the house, it was like you had a singular TV in the house, or maybe one in like the living room in like your parents' bedroom or something like that.
Yeah.
And now it's like, especially with phones and YouTube being so big, it's like you have that all the time.
Crazy.
Yeah. So instant access, and it's always with you. It's probably interesting because like I feel like a lot of people my age talk about it, like trying to decrease their screen time, like you're doing with your 2-year-old. I'm trying to do as a 24-year-old because I never had those limitations because I grew up the same way where it was like I spent most of my time outside. Therefore, typically my parents didn't care, but it wasn't out of the ordinary for me to spend 7 hours straight on a Saturday playing Call of Duty or something like that, and just like not think about it like that was normal. Video
games got like better as time went on because Call of Duty was like kind of becoming a thing when I was in high school. I didn't really necessarily get into it, but like I know like Halo was like a big thing. But like, and we could play a lot of Halo, and like we would play Halo for a couple hours. So like my friends and I, a lot of times we'd go skateboard during the day, and then we'd play Halo for a couple hours, like in the afternoon or evening kind of deal. But it's like we get bored of it, but after a couple hours.
See, we would be like we'd play outside all day, and then we'd like go inside and play video games until like we play Halo till 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah,
and then we'd sleep until noon and do it all over again.
Good times
for sure.
You gotta. I feel like I had to like earn like some time like playing video games. Like I always enjoyed playing video games more after I did like something like physical during the day.
Yeah, too. I remember going over to my like cousin's house, and his like their family was very big on like video games are for like the evening and when it's raining outside. Like it's nice outside, get off that damn video game.
I have learned that like figuring out what you're really addicted to is what you're willing to do before work or before school. So it's like I had friends specifically in middle school, like 7th and 8th grade, who we had to be at school at 8:00 was when it started. And they would wake up at 5:30 or 6 so that they could play an hour or two of video games before they went to school.
Yeah, I don't think I had anybody that I knew in high school that did that.
Yeah, it's like I'm not willing to wake up early to do that. It's like I try to treat it the same where it's like tonight, whenever I get home from this, I know what video game I'm going to play. I know I'll play it for an hour or two, chill out, go to bed, do whatever.
What you going to play?
Formula 1. I got a racing setup last week. It's got the little wheel. Gives me feedback. I have the pedals too. And then I have a chair that comes in today.
Wow. Oh shit. Yeah. How does I bet it's way better than when I was a kid.
Oh, it's so cool. And I can get like really nerdy with it because I've learned a lot about it recently, but in short, the wheelbase, so the thing that you plug the wheel into is what gives you all the feedback. So it produces torque. So obviously like whenever you make a corner or something, like you can feel if you go up on like the curb or whatever it is. And then like the normal amount of vibration that a car gives you when you're driving into the wind. Like if you take your hands off the steering wheel will shake side to side. The craziest part about it that like I've just started experiencing recently though, is like the wheelbase I got is the lowest amount of torque possible because it was the cheapest. I'm also setting it up on a desk that I bought from Amazon for like $100. Super cheap, little particle board, whatever. That like lowest amount of torque, I have to turn down in the settings because it shakes the monitor on my desk with like how much feedback it gives you.
Oh, wow. Shit.
For like context too, those wheelbases go up to more than 7 times the amount of torque that mine gives me on my desk. So like if I had something stronger,
like driving a real car.
Yeah, people make like you'll sit in like a full like metal cage thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the whole like setup, like all said and done, whenever I have everything set up, it was like about $400. So like not cheap, but not crazy expensive, like for a console essentially. But you can spend upwards of like $100,000 where it's like whole car. Yeah, more expensive than a car.
Yeah. Well, dude, it gets so realistic though that the actual Formula 1 guys like practice on them.
Oh shit.
They'll like learn tracks, they'll learn like where they're racing, and they'll legitimately practice on those things.
Well, nowadays too, like there's so much customization within games for cars where it's like I play on base settings or whatever, but like I looked at it the other day and you can go into individual cars and change like the angle at which the wing sits and like all of these things, how much fuel you're carrying, what fuel mixture you're using. So it's like if they want to test out something race day, they can like go into their simulator, mess with the settings and like see what the feedback difference is in the car.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember playing a decent amount of Need for Speed when I was younger. I got to pick the color and if I wanted a spoiler or not. So
see, I don't know, dude. When I played Need for Speed, like what was it? The one where it was like you made like the cars that look like what what was the old MTV show?
Oh, Pimp My Ride?
Pimp My Ride, where all the cars look like Pimp My Ride. Which Need for Speed was that? Was that Hot Pursuit or was that a different one?
I don't know.
Need for Speed, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. When I was in high school, like whenever I got into like my car, I always felt like it was really realistic because like it smelled like weed in there. I was like, dang, I feel like I'm in here.
Good game specs.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know they could do that. Make it smell like. I feel high.
Mom, it's the game.
It's the game, Mom. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. Just like, I feel like this is like all natural stuff that like, it's like the way that humans are built is like to naturally seek out like hyper palatable foods or like things that stimulate dopamine more than others. And so it's natural as like, I don't know, the markets develop is like whoever comes up with the most palatable food will sell the most. Whoever comes up with the video game that releases the most dopamine will sell the most. So I feel like it's kind of a natural thing, but it's just kind of funny that's like we're having to like fight that now.
Well, it is interesting. Like this leads me to another point that I was thinking of last weekend. Whenever I was in Nashville, is like my dad was showing me, my sister just got married, that moved into a new house, and it has a porch on it still. And it's this like weird enclosed looking thing or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not used to seeing that. And he was talking about it and he was like, yeah, this is like one of the greatest inventions known to man that got ruined by technology. And he's like, the second that we got air conditioners, everyone started hanging out inside, versus pre-AC, people would hang out on their front porches and you would converse with your neighbors in the evening. Like that was traditional life, but we got the luxury of air conditioning and now nobody knows their neighbors because you just don't sit outside when you could be inside more comfortable.
That is actually one thing I've really been enjoying because I walk our dogs in the morning, and now Riley has started to join us. She's actually joined us pretty much since she was born. So like the last 2 years, she's walking herself or riding her little push bike that we've got. Alyssa has started coming with us too. And so she pushes Ashton in a stroller. We got a little attachment. Alyssa got a little attachment for the back of the stroller that Riley rides on and can like hold on to the stroller. So I walk the dogs, Alyssa's pushing the kids. And now that we're like a whole gang walking around the neighborhood, like we like have a lot more conversation. So we've gotten to know a lot more people in the neighborhood. It's been nice, man. We do it in the morning before it gets too hot out. So it's been really cool. And there's like regulars out that walk, or we'll see people that are like regularly like packing up and getting ready to go to work. So yeah.
Dude, it is funny. Like I feel like even living in our apartment, like Laurel knows like nobody. And like, cause she just doesn't talk to people. I'm on the elevator and I'm like, I will talk to you. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I always meet these neighbors, but it is nice, man. Back to something you said a little bit earlier that like I was thinking about the other day, where it's like whoever makes the best tasting or whatever. You know what's funny? Fast food, it seems like it's always about like making something new. Like they've got the new whatever series at Burger King or whatever, you know, new Taco Bell Queso Grande, like whatever they've got it.
You ever wonder what a taco tastes like in a Dorito?
Yeah. And McDonald's is like burger. like what is McDonald's made new in for? And maybe they have, but it's always like just little thing. They're like, yeah, we got new dessert, but they're like, what else you guys got? And they're like burger, chicken burger.
Yeah, you know how long the Big Mac's been around?
Dude, right. That's what I'm saying. Where it's like the Burger King is still a commercial, like new monster series. And it's like the buns are black or something. I don't know. And you're like, spooky. And then McDonald's is like, burger.
They're killing it too.
Yeah, right. Like it's like they don't ever like I don't ever feel like they're advertising like we've got this new and improved whatever. It's just like we got fries, we got burgers, got chicken burgers.
You know, back to a point earlier, I respect Cane's for doing something similar because they've done like some like Post Malone collaboration, whatever. But
we saw the Cane's that they did the Post Malone collab with.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
we look like homeless men.
Oh yeah,
we just climbed a mountain, but yeah, we did see the Cane's post. post Cane's Malone's.
It was cool. But they their whole thing being just chicken too.
Yeah.
Where it's
Just
like
chicken strips.
Yeah. Not only do they not like try to innovate or anything, they're just like, we make good chicken.
Dude,
That's the business model. Like,
I love that. Like simplicity, man. It's like, okay, who am I going to go to for chicken? Somewhere that has, burgers, Mexican food, burrito bowls, and chicken. It's like, well, the chicken is probably not paying a whole lot of attention to that. Or you're going to go to Cane's that like, that is all we do. And we do it the best we possibly can. And it's just, I love the simplicity of it. I think it's better quality that way. And then you're not having to worry about a million different things. So
I saw the owner of Cane's on a podcast. I don't remember what podcast it was, but I just saw like a snippet.
Mr. Kane?
Yeah, Mr. Kane himself.
Wait, wasn't he a wrestler?
That's right. Same Kane. Him and the Undertaker.
Really quick, my uncle was roommates with Kane in college.
what?
Yeah.
Show off.
No joke. Apparently has been in my grandparents' house. So
What?
Sick.
yeah.
Dang. You think he tombstone pile drive me at your grandparents' house?
I probably.
That's an Undertaker's move. I couldn't think of what Kane's move was. I'm sorry, everybody. Anyway,
Back to chicken.
yeah. So he was on the podcast, and one of the things that he was talking about was part of the reason why they do it. Obviously, they were like, "We're good at one thing, do it," and it's like their sandwiches are chicken strips on a
Right.
bun. You know, like it is all the same. One of the things they factored in is how much more efficient they are in their drive-through and in their lines because you don't have to think about what you want. There's no like, what do I want? It's we got chicken strips. How many you want? Like that's it. That's the only question. You want it on a bun or not on a bun? Like. And how many you want? That's it.
So I never thought about that.
Not even making yourself more efficient, making your customers more efficient.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
crazy.
something like their drive-through line is like X amount faster than the traditional drive-through line, factoring in the time it takes for somebody to decide what they want.
Wow.
A funny thing with that, just because I saw a meme about it recently, but I do think there's this funny type of human who is going to a restaurant like McDonald's where it's like you have a lot of options, or like a Taco Bell especially, and you like wait in a line behind someone for however long. It's like 10 minutes that you have to like sit there and think about what you want. They have the menu there so that you can look at it ahead of time. And then they get up to the window and they're like, "What do you want?" They're like, you had 10 minutes to make up your mind about this. Like, or you're like me and it's like, I have one order at every place that I go to. Like, I'm a creature of habit. I always get the same thing before I leave my house to go get it. Double cheeseburger plain. But like before I leave the house to go get food, I already know my order. Not once have I ever sat in a drive-through line and like at the little buzzer thing, like had to think about what I wanted.
So I don't like going through a drive-through at a place where it's like I'm not familiar with their menu, because it's like I know I'm going to look at it for a little bit, so I don't want to be holding up everybody else. So
you don't got to do that at Cane's.
This
You
is
don't
true.
have to worry about that.
Yeah.
This isn't a question for Kevin, but this is a question for you.
Yes.
Do you order on the apps?
I've started doing more of it recently because I've realized how many like incentives there are.
Dude.
Yeah, there are deals.
The deals are crazy.
Yeah, I typically didn't.
Yeah.
Even on what is it? I try to use it a little bit less, but Uber Eats.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You
Or
can
it's
do
a
the
deal.
deals on Uber Eats.
Yeah, that are like constant, like Pickleman's buy one get one sandwiches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a. Oh, go
I
ahead.
did get Chipotle from I think Uber Eats the other day. Whole thing.
Ooh.
Yep, that was crazy. I got a burrito and chips and guac, and all of it, delivery and everything, was $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
crazy.
beat that sucker. So I actually ordered Chipotle from DoorDash because they had their small size catering order on DoorDash for 25% off. So it's like the equivalent of like 8 bowls at Chick-fil-A for like $50. And I was like, food prep, like deal. And when they brought me all my stuff, they didn't bring me rice. They brought me beans and no rice, and I wanted both.
Yeah.
And so I got on DoorDash and I was like, hey, they didn't bring me rice. And they're like, would you like an entire refund? And I was like, yeah.
So I had the same thing happen with Chick-fil-A. because they did their new pretzel bun things. And I really wanted to try one. So I was working in a store. This is like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. And I was like, that sounds awesome for lunch. So I go on to get it and I like sub the fries for a fruit cup, and then it gets delivered and there's no fries or fruit cup. So I do the same thing because it's like they don't give you anywhere to like select what was missing. They were just like, an item is missing, and you click it, and then it refunded me for the full meal plus delivery. So
I'm talking like full meal delivery tip. It was 100% free.
Yeah. And it was like, crazy. I still had almost everything that came with my meal. So I got it again later in the week. So I was like, it's essentially free.
Right.
So
I think I've also paid like almost $100 for like $3 menu items from McDonald's. So
yeah, for sure.
Like they're getting some people, not the other people.
Yeah. Well, I was like, it wasn't that big of a deal, but I like just grabbed my box of rice in like my rice cooker. And I was like, okay. Like I just selected.
It's still easier than doing it all yourself.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I was like, this was still would have been worth it. But I was like, yeah, they didn't give me my rice. And I was like, well, I'll go on there. They usually give me like $10 back or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, would you like a $68 refund? And I'm like, yes, I would. Please and thank you.
We talked about, we've got permission. I say permission. We made a decision at Define meeting the other day, and we can talk about it.
ooh,
We because we're going to be kind of launching to ambassadors a little bit, and then starting to promote ourselves as well. So by the time this episode drops, we'll have I think there'll already be some posts out there, but we will be releasing a Baja Mist in a brand new product.
Baja?
A little bit of Baja. Preston, you wanna break the news?
is Define EAA. So an essential amino acid product.
Yeah.
All of them.
All the essential aminos.
And a bunch of them.
Yep. Hefty scoop.
Yeah.
Tastes good.
Like, well, it's like close to double the industry standard.
Yeah, close to, depending on the brand, but it's 13.7 grams total, which at least from what I've seen, that's the highest I've ever seen on a ton. Yeah.
I know there's like, even like on BCAAs, there's a lot that are like total like 5 or 6 grams, like 8 or 10, even 10 usually is pretty high up there on an amino product. So
yeah, 5 is pretty standard, especially for branch chains.
Yeah.
But you still see a lot of EAAs that are like 6 or 7 or something, where it's like same amount of branch chains and just like a little bit of the other 6. So
yeah,
it was about as much as we could put in without bombing the flavor.
Yeah,
because there was at least one change that we made after we submitted it that was like
there's a limit to what it was. One of the essential amino acids that was like, if you go above this threshold, it is unpalatable.
I think it was methionine. We lowered that by quite a lot, because Bruce was like, yeah, you're not going to be able to sell it if it's this high.
End up being our Fury X. Awesome formula, but
yeah. So, and you don't need the other 6 at quite high of doses, at least most of the time. Some of them are more suited to be just a lower amount of milligrams. So
are we announcing all flavors or just one?
We can announce all flavors. Do you want to do the other 2?
Oh, I'll do one and then you do the other.
I already did Baja.
I'll do the last one.
Blue snow cone.
That's my favorite.
And strawberry lemonade. My favorite.
Strawberry lemonade. Baja is my favorite.
I'm pumped about those flavors.
Yeah, I'm really excited. The only thing I'm not excited about is that I'm scraping the bottom of my current EAA's product.
You can we're gonna give access to employees. So
next week.
Yeah. So if you want to snack
next week,
you could maybe snack.
It's a sample tub too.
But those will become available on November 8th, which is another announcement, Sample Triad.
No, but seriously, the EAs are so good. Like Kevin even compared them to a grapefruit or a tangerine. Like that's how good they are.
And for those of you that have had a grapefruit or a tangerine before,
my God.
I'm excited for him though. I feel like we are expanding the product lineup in a good direction.
Yeah.
Where it's like, even when I look back to whenever I first started working here, not that it was seen as a limited variety or like a limited amount of products. That shelf over there is kind of crazy now.
Yeah.
What all did we have when you first started working here?
I think Test had just been released. Pumps got released like maybe a month or two in.
After you started working here?
Yeah.
That's crazy. The first pump too, right?
Yes. Because it would have been 2020, like late 2020.
Yeah.
Had pre, had Waze.
Yeah.
Did not have isolate. We had
probably thermo sleep and test.
Thermo sleep and test.
Multi?
No multi.
Because you made multi.
Multi and hydrate
Right.
were the first two products I did.
For those that don't know, Preston does our formulas. So
Yes.
and formulated legitimately our most popular product. When you combine all the flavors, hydrate's our most popular product.
Yeah, and I hit a cool milestone the other day. It was whenever we updated the way labels. I, in some way, shape, or form, have my fingerprints on every single SKU that we have.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was the only product where it was like I never worked on it. It was pre my time. I had never done the labels for it or anything. But besides that, I've either formulated or relabeled every SKU.
Crazy. So at this point, you've had your finger in all of us.
Yep. Essentially.
It's crazy.
Pretty sure that's what I said.
Yep. Verbatim. I think we're over, when you add EAAs, I know we're well over, but even prior to that, I think we're over 30 SKUs technically when you add all the flavor, count all the flavors.
Yeah, it was like 33 last time I checked. That may have been before EAs.
Yeah, so we're getting close to 40 because we were at one point with Define Nutrition. I'm really happy the way that we've progressed now, and we've been very methodical about all of our releases, and we really put a lot of time and attention to one individual product. Even when we do a new flavor, there's a lot of attention to detail with it, where in the beginning we had, I think 11 or 12 different SKUs that we first released, but it was we tried to do so much at once that all the formulas were good. All the ingredients were good, but flavorings were a little hit or miss. Labeling was a little hit or miss. Even putting stuff in the tub was a little hit or miss. It's just, there's so many details that go into just one individual product that it's been nice. We dwindled down to one, mostly for cash flow, but we dwindled down to 3 SKUs at one point, which is crazy because now we're over 30. So
10 times what we were at one point.
Yeah. And it's crazy thinking about it. I think that would have been when you first started, it was Waze. Was there glucose or dextrose?
It was dextrose. It was dextrose, glucose plus?
No, it was actually
glucose, dextrose.
Yes.
Okay. I have a tub of the old glucose. I was telling you about it the other day.
Right.
Because we did have the black labeled dextrose first, like 1 or 2 runs or something like that. Yeah.
So we had glucose both ways, sleep, thermo, test.
Pre and just pre at the time.
Just pre. So 8 SKUs.
Yeah.
When you first started.
So we've added on, 20 something.
Yeah. That's
almost 25. That's crazy.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
My goodness. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We're sold in a couple places too now.
Over 100.
Yeah. Are we? It's I'll have to go update our retailer location list, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's over 100. So
I think we hit the 100 mark a while ago, or a couple months at least, because I remember Ryan saying like Shopify like won't let us put more than 100 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, which is also crazy.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Yeah. I would say it has been cool with how much I've traveled this year for Define. Like I've had an experience that I don't think a lot of us have had the opportunity to get. Maybe Kevin would travel into to some of our accounts, but meeting so many people who I have no clue who they are. They have no clue who I am, who are like hardcore Define Nutrition fans, like in other states. Like one of the events I did in Texas was huge for that. And then at both Nutrition Corners and Supplement Giant in the last couple of weeks, it was like at least 10 or 15 people who were like legitimate fans. And then maybe like 20 or 25 who have at least tried one of the products at some point, like had something nice to say about it. So, That's been super cool for me.
It is a little surreal to get out of your bubble because you're like, you get so used to talking to like our regular customers that shop with us and take Define. It's like, okay, like we're, supported by a close, tight knit community, but you forget about, you just don't see all those people on a regular basis that we're shipping all those orders out to when we, have 20 boxes in the back. It's like there's a lot of people that are taking Define that don't live here in think
of how many people shop at Triad and are big fans of other brands.
That's true. That's a good point. I mean? Yeah.
They're not all just, huge Define fans, which obviously we love when people are, but like there's plenty of core fans, first one, whatever, you know what I mean? Like there's tons of all sorts of brands. And so it's probably not any real different, when we go somewhere else. It's like, it's cool to be one of the other brands.
Right. Yeah. People are a legitimate fan of.
To Kevin's point too, I think it's just fun to once in a while get out of the bubble that we're in. Because like, I'm sure a lot of like Triad and Define employees feel similar, but it's like when I go work out, that's my environment. It's people that I know. Whenever I work, same thing. Most of the people who I hang out with outside of work have some relation to the stores or to Define. Obviously, my family dated Kaylin for the length of time that I've worked here, and she works here with me. So it's like everything that I do is this like tight little bubble, and I'll get out once in a while, like even being in Nashville last weekend and talking to people who like didn't know who I was or like what I did for work, and like we'd start talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool," and I'm like, I forget that this is really cool sometimes. Like just, step back and smell the roses kind of ordeal. Yeah. I know that we talked about it with the warehouse whenever we put in pallet shelving and like what the warehouse looked like when we first moved into it versus what it looks like now. It's like, that's crazy, but you don't really realize it whenever you're going through it.
Yeah. A lot of times it feels like just filling boxes.
Right. Yeah.
You get realize what that actually does.
Those are the steps that get you there.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think I told Kevin this at one point, but it was a cool compliment, for lack of a better term, that my mom gave me a couple months ago. And we were just talking about work, and I was hanging out with her on a Sunday, and she was asking about my work on Mondays. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to pack the transfers, and was like explaining it to her or whatever. And she was like, just remember that like every box you pack, you're getting like one step closer to the ultimate end goal. And I was like, that is tough to see sometimes, but that is like a good reminder, especially when you get caught up in the weeds and just like the monotony and the day to day and the late nights and early mornings and whatever.
I know I talked to you recently about just because you kind of have a hodgepodge of responsibilities, and your role is somewhat undefined, and I'm sure will be forever changing and probably much quicker than it has in the past. But just kind of getting a feel for like, hey man, what responsibilities are you enjoying and which ones are you not enjoying? And it was surprising to me to hear that you actually liked the I guess I don't know if the monotony or if the structure to packing transfers, that you actually enjoyed that part of the job.
Yeah, I don't, I definitely didn't expect that to be one of the things that I looked forward to, but like I love Mondays. Like I really like thoroughly enjoy packing transfers because like
have you ever thought about delivering them?
That not so much. But,
I don't miss that.
I think I like the kind of like you said, the structure where it's like I do this and then I do this and then I check it off. And I also like, I was thinking about this the other day. I get a ton of dopamine from like checking things off a list. It's like you'll see me instead of
that. I feel like we'll pause really quick. I feel like that sentence describes you really well.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so too. But like the warehouse duties, I won't wait till the end of the day to check off all the ones that I did. I get finished with the transfers and then I go check it off on the list. I'm like, that feels good. Like I like having that accomplishment. But it's the same thing where it's like I'm checking off 400 SKUs in a single day or whatever. It's like I get like motivation from doing that. Like it doesn't get boring. But I'm also really into podcasts, so it lets me listen to podcasts for 7 or 8 hours straight and just get lost in my own head.
And be on one.
Yeah. And then be on one today. Yeah. But all that kind of reminds me, just something I think you guys will understand explains me more too. So I used to work in my mom's law firm office. I was just a copy boy, and most of the tasks that I would get are just making copies of papers. So it's very monotonous, but I'd still spend, 3 or 4 hours straight doing it. So I got really into timing myself, and I'm like, okay, well, how fast can I do this? Because if I can increase it by 3 seconds per copy, well, that gets me done 30 minutes early or later in the day or whatever. And it ended up being. And so I like made a game out of it for myself. And I very much do the same thing with the transfers, where it's like, how can I speed this up by just a hair? Because I know I'm going to be doing this for 6 hours anyway. Can I do it in 5.5 today? But I think I like that being the like, it's not necessarily monotonous, but it's so structured to where you can find ways to do it better versus doing laptop work. It's just like, I'm trying to sit and think about this harder. Like,
yeah, very different work.
Yeah.
I always like things like that too, where it's like, yeah, it's how efficient can I be with this? I remember working at, Fritz's Frozen Custard, and I liked the responsibility, a closing responsibility of clean the custard machines. There was 4 of them, and there's like a whole method to like breaking them all down, pulling the pieces out, sending through the dishwasher, and like wiping them and everything like that. And I liked doing that because it was like, it could take you 3 hours to do that, or it could take you an hour to do that, depending on if you're good at it or not. So,
yeah. And I think being in the store, you have a lot of opportunities to do stuff like that, especially with restock or making the deposits, where it's like being back in the store the last couple of weeks, I was like doing those things out of habit, but just like, what time do I start making the deposit? And they'll like, I'll do these small, stupid stuff, but it's like to wipe down the screens. I always use like 2 things of paper towels, and I use the little spray bottle. So I will pre-rip them off and fold them and set the spray bottle on it.
Yep.
So it takes me 5 less seconds to do it whenever it comes that time of the day. Like
you like pre-do the deposit with everything but the number.
Yeah. It's pulled and everything. And all you have to do is write it down.
Yeah. So, whatever the number will be.
I remember doing it at S2 on the drawer counts. I would have it all filled out, and then I would just, all I'd have to do is to hit the submit button.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll do it like if it's a store where like we have a solo closer, I will shut down one of the POSs like before the night's over. There's only one of me. Like I'm just going to use one. So usually when like one person's leaving, I'll just like turn off the POS too and like wipe it down and like have it all done and like ready to go. And I forget who I was working with one time, and I like, they were about to leave, and I like, and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'll just use one. Like, it's fine.
Don't exactly need 2.
Yeah, I could just use this one over here, and then that one's done.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything with it.
I do a little bit of, I don't know if I would do that, because like everybody does things a different way, but I do, like if I get a couple customers in at a time, like I'll like kind of check 2 people out at once kind of deal. I'm sure that's rare closing, but
turning them back on takes a half a second. You just click the power thing and swipe up, and then it's ready to go.
All that to be said, something I find interesting, like not to get too far off track, but I have gotten into like watching racing a lot more recently, like racing games and stuff like that, in particular Formula One, because it's so fast and it's cool and whatever. And I think I find it super fascinating because it is a game of like, can you shave a 1/10 of a second off per lap? Like all of you are 99% perfect. Like who can be 99.5% perfect this lap? Because like the craziest statistic I saw, and I know it changes a lot race to race, but it's like the average difference in time between first place and 20th place being last. It's like there are a lot of events where it's 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's 30 seconds over the course of an hour and a half's worth of racing that they gained on the last person in the pack.
Qualifying's like within a second.
Right. Yeah. It's everyone is battling for those like in qualifying like hundredths of a second of fastest lap. So
it's like first place and last place. It's like within 1 second of each other.
That's crazy.
Dude,
not to mention, especially like I'm surprised I hadn't got into this earlier, because the more I learn about it, the more I'm like, this is right up my alley as far as stuff that I like, because it's so statistics driven and I love numbers, but it's also very sciencey, where it's like, I heard someone describe it as like, it is a season long ongoing science competition between these teams of who can make the fastest car or the best car for whatever track they're racing on. And it's like they make changes between races, and you have hundreds of millions of dollars being invested into 10ths of seconds, and all the nerdy, like the fuel mixture and the tilt of the wings and whatever. It's like all fine tuning. Again, you're all almost perfect. Who can be 1% more perfect though? Yeah.
It's chasing perfection. You never get there, but you're really close kind of deal. I used to do, for a while when when I would walk the dogs in the morning, I'm really big on like, I let the dogs like stop and sniff as much as they want. Like I'm not like dragging them along or pulling them or trying to get them to go faster. So we do kind of like a short walk. We take our time. It is difficult to not pull the dogs when you have two of them and a child on a bike, that it just kind of naturally happens. But I was like, I would try to not do that. So I made it like a game to where like, I wouldn't, like if one of the dogs was like stopped and like sniffing something, that I wouldn't like accidentally pull it. I never did a lap or a walk in the morning where it was perfect. I had times where it was like only like 2 times I did like an accidental like little tug, but like it was difficult, but like that was what kind of made the game fun. So, and I would, especially mornings when I was like, I guess extra bored.
Yeah.
It makes the monotonous things more fun. Like, I can tell you the exact way that I prepare goodles, because I've been going through a goodles kick recently, like little protein noodles. And it's like you open the box. Like
you said goodles, like we knew what that was.
Everybody knows what goodles are. Do y'all not know what goodles are?
I think, have you had some up here?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've asked about them one time. So
around these parts are called noodles.
They are called noodles around these parts.
But I do so much as far as preparing it, where it's like I put the stove and put the water in it, blah, blah, blah. And then like while it's starting to boil, I will open up the packet, take the cheese out of it. I'll open the cheese, put it in the bowl that I'm going to use, put the fork in the bowl that I'm going to use. So like by the time that my timer goes off and it's time to turn it off, it's 60 seconds between that and the time that I'm eating it. Because I've like prepared all this stuff ahead of time. So.
Are you familiar with autism at all?
I was going to say,
have you heard of it?
I was going to say like maybe like an ADHD, or maybe.
No, that would be like he starts to take the cheese packet out, but then he like turns around and starts doing something else.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe the opposite of that. I'm thinking about it in a way of like, you just can't stop doing something. Because I feel the same way as like, there's always something more that I could be doing to like prepare for whatever I'm doing next.
Yeah. And I think in the last couple of years, I've gotten better at trying to do that less and like trying to give myself an opportunity to relax. Cause I remember going through it really bad during high school, where it was like from the time that I woke up in the morning to the time that I got home in the evening, it's 14 hours and I was doing something productive the entire time, like school or track or working out or whatever. And I would get home and I typically have like an hour or so in the evening from like I'm done eating dinner and hanging out with my family to like the time that I need to go to bed. So I would like try to start watching shows that like friends would recommend or whatever. And I'm like, I cannot sit down and watch this for an hour straight. Yeah. So I would stretch. Because in my head, I'm like, well, at least I'm doing something productive. Yeah. Like I'm still watching this and trying to enjoy it, but it doesn't feel like I'm just wasting time.
Yeah.
And I think that's healthy to a certain extent. But then at least for me personally, I got to the point where I was like, I'm so tired because I never actually rest. Like even during my rest times, I'm so busy thinking about trying to be productive. So I try like nowadays at least to have like 30 minutes to an hour where it's like, I'm going to do nothing and I'm going to feel good about doing nothing.
Like legitimately nothing?
Like I'll have TV turned on or something like that.
All right.
Or like I play a video game on my phone, but doing something that's like intentionally not productive is productive for my mental health.
You have to, it's funny. Are you having a time block to be able to?
It's typically like 10:30.
Yeah.
Because I try to be in bed around 11:30. So it's like I have this definitive 60 minutes that I don't have to do anything.
Yeah. That's nice.
So you love numbers, statistics, noodles, and race cars. I don't think you have it.
You're not convinced?
I don't think you do. I think you're good.
I think I got kissed by it.
I think you're good. I feel about Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's kind of cool.
I was going to say, any feelings towards John Cena?
You can't see him. I was into WWE as a kid.
Yeah.
I think everyone was.
Yeah.
Though.
It was the thing, man.
Yeah.
It was the WWF back then.
World Wildlife Foundation.
That's right.
Yep.
That was a whole thing. It was. I was so mad at them. How dare you steal my WWF? I almost said my culture. You know what? I own it. Yeah. How dare you steal my culture?
Going back to noodles really quick. Alyssa and I have come, so that's what Riley calls noodles. That's how she says it says noodles, and it's hilarious. And it's hard to not tell her. It's hard to explain the right way because all I want to do is just say noodles all the time. We've come up with like I don't know. I'm not going to be able to remember all of these, but like 6 different product ideas for the name Noodles. Lunchtime Noodles. Maybe just like baby noodles, because babies, at least our baby calls them noodles. So, but those are the 2 I can remember off the top of my head.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah,
That
think
sounds,
about that.
no, it sounds great.
Lunchtime noodles.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't get that
You
part.
didn't get that?
No.
I thought you were just saying like times of the day. I'm like, you could do a evening time noodles, a bedtime noodles.
No, at noon, noodles.
Noodles.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
You guys love it.
I love it, dude. That's so good. That's a great idea.
Thanks.
Do you feel like, I've experienced this less with you and more with Alyssa, but not a lot, but I'm sure it exists where like, I'll put this in a different frame of like how it's happened with me, at least, where it's like, I never cared about wedding rings or engagement rings ever. Like I never know. Somebody could have the biggest and I'd never notice or whatever. And then I bought one or was shopping for one for, obviously my wife before we got married. And like, I became hyper aware of them. Do you ever feel like you become not like hyper aware of kids, but of like hyper aware or like associate things with kid things now? I remember we did something, I forget what it was, or we were looking at something and Alyssa was like, this reminds me of like, I'm going to make up a child's TV, the Noodle Buddies. Like everybody knows this looks just like the Noodle Buddies. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think there's probably a decent amount of that because it's like,
you're exposed to a whole new world.
Yeah. I remember learning about like Bluey, who a lot of people know Bluey. We don't really watch a whole lot of Bluey.
Don't like the blue ones.
Yeah. Got a racist baby. You said you were going to say a slur this episode, right?
No, I didn't say nothing like that, Kevin. But yeah, no, like you could literally like somebody could turn on this theme song to Bluey and I would have no idea what it was.
But I remember learning about Bluey before Riley was around and I think it was one time I was getting a tattoo and there was like a couple of like dads up there and one of the guys that is an artist up there got a Bluey tattoo on his arm because this is funny. I feel like explains some people that get tattoos and I love it is this guy went to his kids the night before. He's like, hey kids, I'm getting a tattoo tomorrow. What do you guys think I should get? And they said, Bluey. And he's like, all right,
yeah, let's go.
Tattoo of Bluey right on his arm.
Right.
It was a really good tattoo of Bluey too.
Yeah.
I think Zach did that one.
That's awesome.
But I was like, I have no idea who Bluey is. And it's like, they're all talking about like, they know exactly who Bluey is. And I realized like, there's probably a whole realm of like kid shows that are out there that I just have no idea of. Yeah. I think I've definitely become a lot more aware. I get kid songs stuck in my head all the time.
Yeah.
Elmo, sing a song.
I heard you humming one the other day. Was it Baby Shark?
I probably hum that a decent amount. Yeah. We call, I don't know if you guys know the Baby Shark song, but Baby Shark doo doo doo.
Oh yeah.
So Riley knows she's got a toy shark that's just right back here. She knows knows them as doot doots, not sharks.
Right.
So
Smart.
yeah, she can't say sharks yet. So we got doot doots.
Yeah. Shark's a hard word.
Yeah, can be. But yeah, a lot of. I think I was humming. I don't know, maybe a numbers song. She's learning some numbers right now. So
yeah. I just think it's really interesting too. Cause it's like, there's things that we'll see or she'll see, or you'll see that like you associate with something else. That's like super obvious, but it's like, that's a whole just like, I don't want to say like corner because I'm sure there's more people, especially my age, that understand that than don't understand it. But it is a very weird thing that like you start getting exposed to this whole new world of things.
Yeah. That you just weren't at all before. Like, not at all.
Yeah. Cause it's just like, why would you be? You know, you just have like zero reason to, and then it's like, now it's like, you're going to watch a lot of it, or it's going to be something that becomes more of a much more prevalent part.
I did watch a video of a guy the other day that he does like, I'm sure like comedy What you doing over there?
Damn it, Preston.
I poked my mic.
We'll poke your mic. But he was doing a song. He was like, he had a kid like, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or something like that. And he's like, I thought I knew the definition of busy. Just kind of goes on this song of like, just how busy he is. So, yeah, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So Preston,
to the point that we were making earlier, just because I think it's something that's interesting, is like the more things that you're around day to day, your brain starts to think in that category. Like it's hard to explain, but like being in supplements, like I go home and I have a bunch of like nutrition stuff around me, like go to the gym and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, that's just how my brain works. And I'll catch myself doing it specifically whenever I talk to my sisters, whenever they're asking about products, where it's like, they are general population when it comes to supplements. Like they just don't know a whole lot about it. And I'll start talking and they're like, we don't understand anything that you just said. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm talking over you. I just feel like this is how people in my circle talk. So like, same thing with parents, where it's like, you're going to know a lot more about these kids things and your brain just starts to think in that realm. I think it's the same with like either your job or your sports or activities or whatever it is.
That something like that happened this morning, actually, at jiu-jitsu practice. People will throw up sometimes, right? It's a pretty intense workout. Like I think this morning I burned like 1,600 calories. Jeez. Yeah, that's pretty regular. Like I'll eclipse 2,000 at least once a week, like in my workouts.
Leaves you so much room for burgers.
There's so many burgers, dude. But this kid, he's pretty new, and he was throwing up this morning, and it was at the end of class. And while he was throwing up, because this is just like total jiu-jitsu culture, he was throwing up. He's like hugged over like a little like a bathroom sized trash can thing, and I walk past him and give him a wet willy while he's actively throwing up, and which I think's hilarious. Yeah. Coach thinks he's hilarious. Kid barfing probably didn't think it was super hilarious. And my coach was like, what's wrong? Did you just like eat something like too hard of a workout? And he was like, oh, like, and the kid was like, he's a good kid. He's honest. He was like, oh, like, I think just hard workout and just like nerves, because he's still pretty new. And my coach was like, what are you nervous about? Like, what are you nervous about? And I'm like standing there and I'm like, time out. Like, I think he might be the normal one in this. We're all just used to trying to kill each other every day. So it's like, we're not nervous about this because we've been doing it for years, like literally doing things to kill each other. This kid, like, of course he has nerves. Like everybody would have nerves in this situation. We're the weirdos, not him.
Yeah. Did you, Preston, you being back in store after not being in store for a while, did you find yourself speaking over people's heads?
I feel like I was decent at keeping it on like a understandable level. I think a lot from doing Define events recently, where it's the same way. Yeah. Cause like I especially realized being in the store, it's easier and it's most of the time better to explain something lighter off the bat than like more in depth off the back.
For sure.
And then you get the people who genuinely want to know more about it, who will ask continual questions afterwards. But I even got it like at some Define sample events where it's like talking about hydrate was a good example, like Edmund Grand opening, where it was like, think of like a liquid IV, but with no sugar. And they were like, cool. Like, that is how I was explaining a hydration product, instead of being like, well, it's modeled after a lactated ringer, and explaining dehydration and explaining electrolytes and the electrical charge and whatever. It's like, it hydrates you. And they're like, that's crazy. I want to buy it. Like,
so that's good. You were able to stay a little bit more fresh. I remember with Chad and Vincent, when we left Supplement Superstores, we spent, I think it was about 4 or 5 months, a few months of build out, and then 1 or 2 months prior to that, where we were just like prepping everything for the business. And it was just like the three of us working together. Right. So we're shut off from like talking to like any customers at all. So, and a big part of that was formulating and putting together the initial product line for Define Nutrition. And we get it all set up. We, stores, built out, day we're opening. I work the first opening shift, and the first customer comes in and is asking about protein, and we navigate over towards a blended protein because she's using it throughout the day. And I started explaining, I think it was Core Pro. And I was talking about like, oh, they use a concentrate, and it's awesome because they disclose that it's a WPC 80. So they include, they have to include a slightly higher amount of that WPC 80 because it only is going to yield 80% of protein from that milk. And this lady was like, the fuck are you talking about? And I had to take a step back and be like, oh shit, I just spent the last 3 months only talking to Chad or Vincent. Yeah. I need to dumb this down a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's just people don't understand it. And I get it where it's like, I'll listen to my mom talk to clients or talk to coworkers or whatever. And it's like, I don't understand anything that you guys are talking about, or even talking to my dad, or my dad talking to my mom about like law and stuff. I'm like, I don't get that because I'm not one of you guys.
Right.
They'll talk to my sister though, who's a lawyer, and it's like, they speak the same language. Like they understand it. But I've caught myself.
A lot of jargon.
Yeah, I think it's for me in fitness and nutrition and supplements or whatever. I think it is the like language that gets to me. It's because it's the language that I talk in. Because even thinking like, I think I was talking to one of my sisters about this, where it's like I count caffeine in milligrams and it's easier to say mgs. So it's 200 mgs of caffeine. And like, that's a very normal thing for me to say. And I was like trying to explain to my sister, like, a cup of coffee is equivalent to caffeine. I was like, yeah, standard cup's 80 mgs. And she was like, what the hell does that mean? Like 80 milligrams. It's like how it's measured. But
and a lot of people are like, is that a lot?
Right. Yeah. And they don't know the reference. Right. It's like, so yeah, the language thing is the hardest for me, especially with like the textbook and reading a lot. It's like, I think in those like jargony words.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I need to go get Riley here in just a minute.
Yep.
I think I'm realizing really quick before we wrap this up though, that the first time you were on the podcast, you were still in store. Were you managing at that point?
Yeah.
So this is the first time we've gotten to sit down and do an episode since you guys have moved to the back end.
Yeah. Yeah. For both you and I.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you've done
this
the podcast.
This is my first episode I've been on.
For us together since we've been moved back. So
since we've been
reunited,
back end buddies.
I think I still remember the first day that you guys both got to transition more full time over to the back end. And it was a Monday. We all showed up to the warehouse. You came to do transfers. I think you showed up to take transfers, and I can't remember if we were checking in at that point or not on Mondays, but we all showed up and we were in polos and Alyssa and I worked here for the day. Ryan was kind of, I think, back and forth from the store, but it was just kind of a fun way to start. And then at the end of the day, I remember like you showing back up, changing a little bit more comfy clothes and sit down for a podcast. I remember it just, I don't know. I remember that day pretty vividly. So
it is cool too. I think just kind of in general, I forget who I was talking to the other day. I think it was like Anthony, and he said something like, he sees me like once a week, but he's like, I haven't seen Preston in like a month, or haven't talked to Preston in a long. And I'm like, dang, that is like a thing. Like I see Preston all the time.
But we had long periods of time where I wouldn't see you for a month.
Yeah.
Like whenever I was managing Norman.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't think about that. Yeah. You were UConn.
Yeah.
It was weird. I remember the day that you stopped managing Norman whenever I took over. It was surreal anyway, but it was also like this guy who I've spent the last 2 years straight around.
Yeah.
I'm going to see once a month at full company meetings.
Right. It is odd. And Kevin doesn't even know anybody who works for us.
Yeah.
I think we've got two employees that I've never met before. I ran into Travis whenever you were interviewing him.
Nice.
Yeah. But Addie and Mark, I don't think I've met either of them.
So two who have passed their tests.
Yeah. And been working in the store for a little bit now.
Yeah.
Haven't met them.
That's crazy.
Yep.
What an odd thing. I wonder if they know what you look like. Like you guys could just like pass each other in the store, like at a grocery store or something randomly. And they just be like,
I'd pass Addie and I'd be like, oh, hey, Kaylin.
Do you know what episode this is?
I think it's 78. Pretty sure 78.
78.
Woo.
Do you have anything for the people? Where can they find you? Back of the warehouse.
Back of the
bugs.
warehouse. With the spiders, the big spiders.
Yeah.
Usually they're outside, which is nice. We got to
true.
fend them off at the gate.
Preston's a good spider defender.
Yeah.
I have gotten rid of, in some way, shape, or form, at least like 50 since I've been here.
Wow. Fighting them at the gate.
All peacefully, right? For Alyssa?
For sure.
Yeah.
And definitely not the...
What about the flamethrower you had? What of that?
It's a good thing she doesn't listen to this.
There was the
podcast.
one with like 200 babies. And if we count that, then my count's up to like 300.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
but
Preston committed mass genocide the other day.
Yeah, I've heard.
it's the worst way to start my day.
Well, on that note, episode 78.
Thanks for listening, guys.
I get to go take another transfer.
Woo!
Bye.